Okay, let's continue this conversation. The Central Bank of Nigeria set October 31st as the deadline for the conclusion of the biometric registration, popularly known as the BVN. In the 24 hours thereafter, the Central Bank says there is an extension for the Nigerians in diaspora and named further designated registration centers overseas in a number of countries for Nigerians or customers who do business in the Nigerian banking system. As long as you have an account with any Nigerian bank, whether you're a Nigerian or you're not, you're required to have a BVN. Now let's bring in the director in charge of banking and payment system. This is the first time the Central Bank is speaking on television on this since the deadline expires 5 days ago. So this is exclusive to us. Thank you very much, Dugo Fatoko, for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. And I'm going to start with what has happened in the last 4 years. Bring us up to speed. Tell us what we don't know from the Central Bank point of view, how the system has been working, how the deadline has expired, and what the Central Bank has done.
Thank you. I need to start by giving some background information on why the BVN in the first instance. We know that prior to the introduction of the BVN, various forms of identification have been used by bank customers to identify themselves. You have the driver's license, you have the INEC registration card, you have the national ID card, you have the international passport. But we all know that all these forms of identification are not foolproof, because you see people carrying two driver's licenses bearing two different names. You see people having two international passports, and the names on the two passports may not be the same. So, and there is the need for each bank customer to be uniquely identified, so that if you say you are this, then we know that you are the same person in all the banks in the banking industry. So that was why the idea of a BVN comes in. What makes the difference between the BVN and all these other forms of identification is the biometrics. You know, with your name, your date of birth, you also supply your biometrics. That is your fingerprints or your facials. And that is unique because no other person can have the same characteristics with you. And of course, what that means is that in the banking industry, you have to be who you are, because the BVN is riding on a shared platform. So once you have the BVN, you enroll, you link it to all your bank accounts in all the banks. And so in all the banks, you are the same person. You can't be A here and be B there. And that also will help in the issue of credit administration, because it means if you get a loan from a bank and you don't want to pay and you are blacklisted, of course, you'll be blacklisted everywhere. If you commit a fraud in the banking system and your account has to be closed in a particular bank because you have committed a fraud, it means you cannot operate in the banking system. So that is what makes the BVN to be very, very unique. And that is that was some of the reasons why it was introduced.
So what has been, we've seen October 31st deadline. This is 5 days after. Talk to us about what's going on.
Yes. You will notice that the first deadline was June 30th. But we observed, the Bankers Committee observed that when that deadline was getting near, so many bank customers had not been registered. So you see the banking halls besieged by a large number of people who were waiting for the last day. That was why it was extended to 31st October this year, which was just last weekend. But you notice that when this last deadline was getting nearer, the banking halls were not as crowded as they were by 30th June, which means that more people have registered. At the last count, over 21 million various customers have enrolled for the BVN. Over 21 million customers have enrolled. And about 15 or close to 15 have linked up their BVNs in the various banks. So that means that the program has been very popular, it has been embraced, and it is really working well. But I need to say that from Monday, there have been some teething problems. But those teething problems are expected problems. Because some people may have 3 accounts, maybe they link up to, thinking they have linked 3.
About the challenges of linking these different accounts. Which is what you call the morning after you had this, you took this drug overnight, you think, and you wake up the following morning and you're feeling a little bit dizzy.
That's it. So it's not a big problem, really.
Is it a problem for the banks because it looks like the platforms are congested?
No, it's just one platform. The platform has enough. In fact, the platform, we will talk more on this on Saturday, probably. The platform has capacity to take all Nigerians.
Even 160 million.
Yes, even all of us have bank accounts. The platform has the capacity to take it. You know, that is part of the planning. You must plan to have excess capacity so that there is no congestion on the platform. There is no congestion at all. It's just that people did not actually, some did not do what they should have done earlier on. And of course, in fact, to link your BVN is easier than even to enroll, because linking your account takes less than a minute. But enrolling is about 3 minutes, because you have to submit your biometrics, you have to sign some forms. But linking, in less than a minute, the linkage is done. So there are no problems.
So why did banks restrict some accounts? I got a GT Bank and trying to link First Bank, Union, whatever, and they say, look, your account is shut down, you can't have access, you can't make deposit, you can't take money out. Oh no, you can't take deposit, but you can't take money out.
Thank you for that correction, Basin. You can make deposits, even if your account is restricted. And those deposits, either cash or inflow, electronic inflow, it can go in. We are not restricting people from paying money into their accounts. But what is being restricted is a customer-initiated debit into the account. And that is in line with the principles of the BVN. You know, as I said, it is a KYC thing. Banks must know their customer. They should know who their customers are. So if you have not supplied your BVN, it is taken that your bank will not know you. They don't know you
even
yet.
Even if I walk into the front door and I present an ATM card with my names on it,
that does not identify you. Supposing you give me that card and I present that card and I tell them I'm Amofai, how will they know?
Oh.
So, but with my BVN, like that good example you gave, if I came in, I give them my card, I said, oh, I'm Basin Omofai, there's no way they can know. But if they say, okay, put your finger here, and I put my fingers, of course, the server will tell them, no, this fingerprint is different from that.
Or does he just tell them you're not the one on Channels Television? Then they know it's not you, because they watch television, they know you know me.
Okay. I agree with you. I agree with you.
That's interesting. So if anyone takes my card and goes to any banking hall, you can't take any money, because they just look at your face and say, you're not bossing. I never saw you on TV.
That's it.
That's the advantage of television.
But not everybody is bossing.
No, but everybody's bossing. So that's an issue over there. But again, we have a very serious issue that some members of the National Assembly have kicked against the central bank and said, don't link the BVN with the Bureau of Change for Foreign Exchange Transactions. The central bank has linked this with the NIPS, with the Stock Exchange and the SEC. You've worked together to make sure that KYC is extended to those who are investing, who are buying and selling shares, so you don't sell somebody's shares and the money goes into a different account than the owner or whatever. So that is good. But why do you think the central bank is being asked by some members of the House of Reps to say, don't do this as far as the Bureau of Change operation is concerned?
I must thank you, Bosin, for making reference to what we are using the BVN for in the capital market. It's a game changer. And the Security and Exchange Commission and the Stock Exchange are really working with us. Everybody is happy about it. It is that game changing that is also being extended to the forex market, so that the transactions there could be very, very transparent. I must tell you that for the past 3 months or more, Travelers has been operating at the Nigerian airports, especially at the international airports, and they've been selling dollars to people, 5,000 or less. The operation has been going on smoothly without any problem. You need to submit your BVN. And the people have been submitting. If BVN has to do with identity, why should I hide my identity if I don't have any other thing in mind?
Why hide your identity if you have nothing to hide?
If you have nothing, thank you, Bosin. Why hide your identity if you have nothing to hide? So people have been submitting their BVNs to the traveler's check.
So if you're a genuine forex transaction individual and you go to a bureau de change and you want to do 5,000, whatever the limit, why say, sorry, I can't disclose my BVN?
That's the question.
Because, so is the central bank engaging the legislators on this?
Yes, surely. We are discussing with them. And we believe that those who don't want to actually give their BVN to procure 5,000 or less from the BDC are those who probably want to buy $100,000, $1 million, and for businesses that are not legitimate, you see. So that is the fear. But if you want to buy 5,000 to travel, or you want to do a legitimate business, why won't you like to submit your BVN and just get what you want to have and move on? So that's the issue.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk about the Nigerians and other account holders who are outside Nigeria. Talk to us about this extension for them. Why did you extend it to this class of bank clients?
Thank you very much. You know, the BVN for members of the public actually started in July last year. We started the pilot run around March, April, but after that, and the pilot was done with the bank staff. So from July, members of the public started enrolling. But because of the peculiarity of Nigerians in diaspora, because it's not in all countries that you can obtain the biometrics of residents, not even indigents. Anybody residing in a country, it's not in all countries that you can just obtain their biometrics. You need certain license to be able to do this. So because of that, we have to engage consultants and also tell Nigerian banks abroad to start enrolling Nigerians. This did not start until August. And so, as at now, the number of Nigerians that have been enrolled, or Nigerian bank customers that have been enrolled in diaspora, is still less than 100,000. So that was why this was extended. So that between now and January, all will have opportunity to enroll. And as we speak, there are over 25 locations in the world. 2 in South Africa, about 5 in US, more than 10 in the UK. In South Africa, they are in Johannesburg, they are in Cape Town. In India, in Malaysia, just 2 days ago, the center in Rome was opened. The one in Paris was opened. So this will give everybody the opportunity to enroll. And as I said, you can link. To link, you don't have to go to your bank. You can use internet banking platform to link. You can use the ATM machine to link. You can use even your phone using a USSD. Unstructured supplementary service data to link. So once they get the BVN, they can link, or they can call their accounts officers and they link, and then everything will be fine.
I got to let you go, but one last question. Nigerians are going to pay for this BVN when it's fully operational, yes or no? And how much would they pay?
They are not paying anything. I'm sure you have enrolled for BVN.
Some reports say if you're doing verification moving forward, there will be about 20 naira charge on it.
Oh, no. That is validation, not verification. That is validation. And that is if you you send a test, is the cost of the test, is not the BVN itself. You know, text messages are not free. So when you send a USSD, an unstructured supplementary service data, that is whatever starts with hash, this, that is validation. If you need to validate for anything, you are not paying for the BVN. You are paying the service providers for the use of the USSD, just as you pay when you send text messages. It's not for BVN.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thanks for that information about going there and saying you're not bossing.
Thank you
very much. The director in charge of banking and payment system at the Central Bank of Nigeria exclusive, first here on Channels Television, Dipo Fatokum.